Welcome to the Phoney Podcast.
I'm Phil.
I'm Bone.
And we're Phoney.
I love it. I do.
So welcome to our first podcast, guys.
It's been a while to get here,
It's been an emotional journey, to say the very, very least.
but we done it.
We're here. This is the main thing.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, babe?
So today, we're going to go over a couple of things, and we're going to start with the Mandela Effect.
Mandela Effect. I love these.
I'm a fan of these.
So what have you got for us?
Well, I tried to find some new ones. There wasn't too many, but I did find one interesting one. But should we go over what a Mandela Effect is, in case you don't know what a Mandela Effect is?
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, so the name was coined after the political leader Nelson Mandela. His death in 2013. That's when he did die. But loads of people really swore that he died when he was held prisoner in the 1980s. They remember news coverage, seeing his actual coffin go through the streets and everything, and they all swear that he died in the 1980s, but he actually died in 2013. And that's where it came from. That's where the name was coined. Her name was Fiona Broome, a paranormal researcher. And this is where it comes from. So basically, a historic event, something like that we all remember one way, but it's actually not. It's something else.
So, with that in mind...
Shall I give you some examples of popular ones?
You can do.
Okay. Yeah, so we all remember the Monopoly Man as having his monocle.
Yep.
His little glasses thing there, yeah? But he doesn't actually have it.
No, I remember we looked that one up before.
Yeah, that's a really popular one. So to give you an example,
isn't there one with a Pringles label as well? I think, isn't there?
I think the Pringle one might be his bow tie.
I think it is, isn't it?
Or is it his moustache or something?
It's one of them.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of them.
The Monopoly Man. I swear he does have his monocle, but apparently he doesn't.
Maybe we're all getting confused with Ace Ventura. Maybe that's
when he does that in the movie.
Maybe that's where that one's came from. I mean, just putting it out there.
Yeah. Another really popular one is Queen's song, "We Are the Champions."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, again, I'm a huge Queen fan. Obviously, I was brought up.
I've sung that song a lot, so I'm hoping I've never been getting this wrong this time.
I'm sure we all have. Now, obviously, I can't really sing it because of copyright and things, but I'm sure we all remember that how the song ends is "No time for losers because we are the champions." Yeah. Of the world. But it doesn't. He just sings the end of "because we are the champions," and that's it. No time for losers because we are the champions. There's no "of the world."
Nah.
I know you're probably gonna go listen to that song now, but I know you're singing it in your head. But he does not. It does not end with "of the world."
It's a shame about this copyright because I want to play that right now.
I know.
I need to know. That can't be right.
It
That's
just
no
ends
way.
with "no time for losers" because we.
Was this one you'd purposely searched up for this, or was it something that?
Well, there's more to this because I knew that one, but I did delve a little deeper into it, and where apparently people get confused was there was a concert that he played. I can't remember now where it was, but there was a concert that he played one time where at the end of that song, he did actually add "of the world."
At the end.
I think it was a concert somewhere. There was just one time he did play it where he did add that to it.
I can't. This is not good. How could that be? I've been singing that wrong for so long, apparently. I mean, I'm still not full in belief. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but the original, everything that's on albums and whatever and things like that, he doesn't end it with that.
We all know what I'm doing straight after this podcast.
And then that's the thing, I think we all do just sing it that way.
Yeah.
Because it kind of sounds like that's how it should end.
That's crazy.
I know.
That is absolutely crazy.
It's like a brain itch. That's how it feels for me with these Mandela effects. I'm like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I was like, sometimes you can sit there and think maybe there's some sort of logical explanation, like we said about getting confused with the the Monopoly Man and Ace Ventura,
Yeah.
maybe. Like, maybe that is something in that, you know.
Yeah.
But we are the champions
Yeah.
of the world. That is how it goes.
But I do have a new one
Right.
that I found.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
I have literally just found this. So
Are you about to like literally destroy me? I mean, the Queen one's doing me in.
Well, as I read this one, as I was reading it, I was like, this is how I feel when I hear a brand new Mandela Effect. Because I'm just like, no.
So this one's going to make it like really uneasy, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so this one is from the movie Hook.
Wow, I ain't seen that film in so long.
No.
I used to watch that so much as a kid.
Amazing film. Childhood film of ours, yeah?
Can we... Are you going to break my childhood right now?
I mean, I might do, okay? Because,
oh, no.
Okay, so as I'm going to say this to you, I'm gonna sort of see if your mind went to where my mind went.
Right, okay.
We're going to need to watch this movie after, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I'm going to remember it. I mean, as much as I have watched it, loads.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for such a long time, but go on.
Okay. Right. Do you remember a shot of Hook tearing across the wall?
Briefly.
What's your memory on that? Because I'll tell you mine as soon as I read that.
Like I say, I briefly remember.
Okay. When I read that, my memory of it was I remember sort of seeing like this wallpaper, and I think when he's breaking into the house to steal the children, and his hook goes against it and goes down.
Yeah. And
like I remember seeing like the shredding of the wallpaper.
That's right.
As like his hook goes down it.
Yeah, it's coming back to me a bit more now. Yeah.
As soon as I read that, that's what I distinctly remember. I think like it's that typical horrible wallpaper everyone had back then, probably flowers or something.
Everyone did it. It was trendy then.
Yeah.
All right. It's like how grey houses were like trendy, like what?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
So it says here in the movie and the official trailer, we see the aftermath of the hook that tore across a wall, but no shot of the hook itself scraping across the wall is present. It may have been in a teaser or a trailer, but the trailer on YouTube doesn't show a shot like that. It does show the hook ripping through the screen. This one stuck out to me because I have a memory of seeing Hook's hook scraping across the wall, and apparently a lot of other people do. Do you? Now, I do remember Hook's hook going across like the sow as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I remember that, but I do also remember when he's kidnapping the children, it goes...
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it scares the kids.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I do remember it.
That's quite crazy, I'll be honest.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I definitely remember... As positive as I remember his hook going across the sow, I remember it going across wallpaper.
Admittingly, I do remember that it going through the sow more vividly. Obviously, I couldn't remember when you said about going across the wall, but I sort of, that does ring alarm bells. Something's going off in my going, I have seen that. But that's crazy. I want to watch it now. We've got now got to watch Hook. I
just feel like I remember the scene, like the lights were either off or like it was supposed to be, I don't know, maybe something like lightning effect. It was supposed to be a bit spooky and a bit scary, and it's like you just saw it go poof against the wall and then down.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it.
Well, we're going to have to watch this, baby, and we're going to have to find out, because I can't live the rest of my life not knowing now.
No, as soon as I read that, I was like, no, that happened and stuff. But then I'm wondering, is it something of where it was maybe a different version in the US to the UK? Because
possibly.
Because I've seen some movies where there have been bits in it I've not seen before, and then I realised I'm watching the US version. You know, how they even have different names, some movies. And stuff like that.
Well, didn't the episode of American Horror Story, they deleted parts out of one of their scenes in the cult season, didn't they? Because of certain events that was going on in America, but it wasn't blocked out of the UK showing of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be things like that, maybe.
Yeah. It was only recently I found out because, the actor Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
You know, like how he's sort of now like all in the news again and things. Obviously, I grew up watching the film California Man with him in.
I've not seen that.
Love that film. But apparently in America it's called Encino Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a whole different title.
Yeah, I grew up watching that film and that was California Man to me. But yeah, when all like stuff about like there was, I think he done like one of them GQ interviews on YouTube or something, whatever it's called, and he was talking about film roles and stuff, and he said about Encino Man, and I was like, and then they showed California Man, and I was like, what?
That's crazy.
It's got a whole nother name. Why? And I suppose maybe because the movie was set in California and they didn't want to call it California Man. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure on that. No.
But yeah, so maybe it's something to do with maybe sometimes
different versions of it.
Yeah, maybe sometimes something like that is both of them are right.
Or is there like a cinematic? You know, like you can, you know, when you buy things on like DVD or Blu-ray, you got the, you know, the full length feature film sort of thing, you know, and
or like alternate ending.
Yeah, that sort of
and
vibe.
Things like that.
That sort of vibe. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe we've watched a version of it that was like some sort of extended version. I remember as a kid we had it on VHS tape. I mean, that's how far back we're going when we're talking
did.
about Hook.
Yeah.
And that VHS tape got like abused really bad. But yeah, and then obviously now it's on, you know, streaming sites and stuff. Like, it's crazy. But
talking of VHS tapes, do you remember the Rugrats movie? Does anyone remember that on VHS?
That was quality.
Do you remember that on VHS? It was all orange, the VHS tape.
Was it?
It was all orange. I don't know if it was a special edition, but the Rugrats movie came in an all orange VHS tape.
I do not remember that.
Maybe I've just discovered a new Mandela Effect.
I'm sure it was like a greeny blue colour.
No.
You know, like when it comes up at the beginning of the credits and it's like that bluey green in the background. I'm sure it was that colour, no?
No, the actual VHS tape.
Oh.
The actual VHS tape the Rugrats movie came out in all orange, a bright orange.
I didn't know that. Maybe I didn't have it on VHS tape. I don't know. But I know I've seen it.
If you remember that, please comment. And
that's pretty cool.
So I know I haven't discovered a new Mandela Effect.
So yeah.
But no, I definitely remember that being all orange.
That's crazy.
A bright orange.
That's crazy. Well, my aim is now, I think, you know, once we get off of this podcast, is I'm going to go and listen to Queen.
Gonna watch Hook.
And I'm going to find various different versions of it where it says, you know, champions of the world sort of thing. Because I don't believe that it ain't there. I just can't. For the life of me. Cannot believe it.
Definitely.
I know it's one of them songs I'll probably listen to it 3 times to actually get to the point of actually listening to it, because it's one of them you just kind of bellow out at the top of your lungs. But
I promise there is.
That's crazy.
I know. And do your research. Go watch Hook. Or if you also remember that scene in Hook, also comment below and let me know if you remember it as well.
Yeah, please do. Please comment if you remember these scenes, or
we definitely want to know if you remember any of these.
And are you just as surprised by Queen?
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go on with life without this. No, I just need to know. We're going to start with some Netflix recommendations.
Yeah. We often get asked a lot, what are we watching, recommendations and things like that. So we thought maybe we can
try and incorporate
every so often sort of throw this in, what we're watching. We don't get to watch a lot of TV because
we are just super busy.
We work a lot.
All the time.
Yeah. So, but when we do watch stuff and if we're watching something good, we thought it'd be good to sort of say what we're watching at the moment and what we're liking.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the first thing we have watched recently, and very recently actually,
we watched it all in one go, which is
actually really difficult and really rare for us to do.
Yeah.
But it was Friday night, wasn't it? So we sat down, we chilled, we took some time for ourselves, which we don't very often do.
No. And
yeah, it was a really good show. We watched
I knew the case anyway.
You knew the case. So it was the Murdoch.
The Murdoch murders.
And you already knew the case. You'd seen it on YouTube, haven't you, previously? Yeah,
because obviously I binge true crime constantly. So yeah, I've known about that case for a while. Time. So yeah, I've known about that case like for ages. And then I saw that they was doing a Netflix series about it.
Yeah, because you knew it was coming before it was even released, didn't you? You'd heard about
Only
it
like
somewhere.
a few days previous.
Yeah.
I think I'd seen it on TikTok or something saying that like it's coming to Netflix.
I completely went into it blind, had no idea of the case.
Yeah, you didn't know, but I
had
assured
no idea
you.
what was about to unfold in front of me, which was quite crazy, really.
Which I kind of enjoy because I knew how crazy the case was. I was so excited to be like, I know you like how much you're going to enjoy this just for the twists and the turns, and that you're not going to see what direction this is going in. It's one of them when you think... It was
crazy.
Once you think you've got it figured out, like you haven't. Like we watched the first episode and you mentioned something about... I
was already throwing out like, I bet so-and-so done it and it was because of this and stuff. And
I just sort of had this... Off. Yeah, I just sort of had this grin on my face of like... You
literally went to me, you have no idea where this is going. You literally said to me, no idea. I was like, oh... Where's this going then?
Yeah. But like sometimes I can get a bit funny about true crime documentaries on Netflix because there's a lot of stuff they can't add, whereas then on YouTube there's, you know, things that you sort of can. And obviously what I like with watching true crime on YouTube is I actually like when the content creator does sort of give their opinion or their theories, or will say what the general theory might be in the community of what people do sort of assumed what's happened and things like that. Whereas then a lot of the time on Netflix, because it's, you know, proper, like they can't...
It's proper. Yeah. It's proper.
It's proper. They can't sort of...
It is based on true fact.
Because of that, yeah, they can't add sort of speculation and things like that. Whereas... I kind of like that because it like gets the brain ticking of like, yeah, that's a good point. They brought that up and Susie weren't at the party and John left his phone there, and these are just random names, by the way. They're not people in it.
Just made up.
Yeah, just gets it flying.
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you mean. Like you get that sort of opinion point of view.
Yeah. Or
like the general consensus of everybody's point of view on it. Where obviously with the fact, when you're basing it on fact, which is generally what Netflix will do, you then sort of have that sort of official,
and obviously when
proper,
and obviously when I say like it's good, I don't mean like good because as in there's loads of murders, just obviously because I'm a true crime enthusiast that.
Yeah, it's one hell of a story.
That's what I mean.
It really is a crazy story. You couldn't write it, if I'm being honest. The twist and turns. If you're someone that likes true crime, someone that likes watching something with like lots of twists, turns and stuff, it definitely is a good watch. Yeah. Definitely is a good watch.
Yeah, no, it is good. And I think that Netflix actually did it quite well.
I like Netflix like documentaries. I find they're very informative and they also keep you gripped the whole time. Yeah,
the one that I didn't like that Netflix done, because I absolutely love this story, again, for the twist and the turns in it, is... I forgot the name of the case.
You're looking at me like I know the answer, babe.
The Cecil Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
The young girl who was running in and out of, like, the elevator, and then they found her in the water tank, but she'd been there for, like, 2 weeks, and it looked like she must have put herself in there and all that. That case.
That is a mad case.
What is going on with that?
Mad things happen in this world.
Yeah, but Netflix done a documentary on that. And I remember when it was coming out and I was telling my friends, because like none of my friends are into true crime. So like when that was coming out on Netflix, I was like, you need to watch this. This is really good. It's so good. And then I watched the Netflix documentary and I was like, they missed out so much from all the little details that I know from YouTube and things like that. And it's like, because they can't add that sort of thing in it. And honestly, there were so many of like my friends that were like, that was really boring. And there was like, I don't understand sort of the, you know, hype about the case. And I was like, I understand.
Yeah, I get
Netflix
it. There's so much more to it.
Yeah, I was like, Netflix presented that so bad. And there was like one whole episode dedicated to some geezer. I think he was a musician.
Some geezer. Yeah.
I think he was a musician or something that I'd never heard of. Completely irrelevant. And they wasted a whole hour on him instead of getting into like the nitty gritty
Yeah.
of it. So yeah, sometimes, you know, bit touch and go with a Netflix true crime documentary, but that was good. I think the same about they obviously Netflix done the Chris Watts documentary, and that was pretty good. But again, there was a lot of things missed out from that one, you know. But I get it, you know, proper.
The one thing I am going to say right here, right now, if you do happen to end up watching this, right, Mindhunter definitely needs to come back for a season 3.
Yeah, what are you playing at? You was just about to do BTK.
I'm fuming. Absolutely fuming. Netflix, please bring back Mindhunter.
I mean, we've been waiting ages for it.
Yeah, and we had to wait ages for season 2 as well, didn't we, if you remember?
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I don't know why it's been... I loved season 2. I thought it was brilliant.
What is it? The actors weren't paying too much? Because I'll do it for half.
I'll do it for half.
Just come on, we was about to go on to a good story. We've waited years,
Would you
go now.
Would you play the BTK killer?
Oh yeah, I'll do it well, good and all.
Bind,
torture, kill. Yeah, I can.
You're
do
up
it.
for that, yeah?
I know everything. Yeah, I know more about serial killers than my own family. So let's go.
But yeah, Mindhunter, Netflix, bring it back.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I would say I recommend going to watch that, but there's no point because
I don't know. Season 1 and 2, they're still pretty good. Well, they are. They're good. They're good seasons. Still.
It's all about when the FBI started to do profiling to learn about serial killers and actually coined the term serial killers that we have today, because we didn't have that before then. So it's when we started, you know, actually profiling, learning, and, you know, all those sort of things of, you know, what type of killer and their patterns and things like that. So it's the FBI becoming the profilers.
I could definitely watch it again. I'm not gonna lie. Since I read the article about them not bringing it back for season 3, I've been a bit like, oh, I want to watch that again now. So go and watch it, guys, if you're interested in you know, profiling and serial killers and
because they had the co-ed killer in that.
That's right.
Ed
Kempler.
The actor who plays him, I mean,
and he looked so much like him as well. Absolutely unbelievable how they casted such the perfect actor that looks like him and
was scary. Like as in intimidating
and scary, but not in your traditional sense though either, was it?
No.
He was very just he was almost like he was really calm, like too calm.
Yeah.
It was so strange.
Yeah, he's sort of a bit like, how are you a serial killer?
Yeah,
he's so intelligent, he's so calm, matter of fact, put together. And do you know as well that this is true life, because obviously he is a real killer, the co-ed killer, that when he got sent to prison, that he has said, don't ever release me because I cannot control my urges. If you release me, I will re-offend because I can't help the evil that's in me, and I don't want to hurt people. So he has said, don't release me. He doesn't go to his parole things and stuff like that. He is that intelligent, he's that with
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that he's no, don't release me because I will do this again. I can't help my urges, and I don't know how to feel about that, because part of it is it's good that you can identify that I'm hi, my name's Ed and I'm a serial killer. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
don't let me out.
Serial killer anonymous.
Yeah, don't let me out. I can't help it. Yeah,
I think I'm going to the scat tonight.
Yeah. So part of that is well,
yeah,
it's good.
No, definitely.
I'm not going to say on here the crimes that he did, that mainly involving his mum.
Yeah.
He's not just your typical slash and dash.
That's what I mean. See, Mindhunter had so much to it.
Yeah.
And there's so many places it can go still as well. That's the good thing about it.
So I mean, we was about to get on to BTK and again, him, the intelligence of him, the plan, the sort
and
of
how he went under the radar for so long.
Yeah. But then, and he would never have got caught if he just couldn't help himself. He went he had 10-year span of killing, and then he went 20 years?
Something like that, wasn't it?
Of not doing
ages,
anything.
Yeah.
And then he just couldn't help himself and had to keep teasing the police with some letters, and then he got caught. You know, so if he did just shut up.
Do you reckon that? But they say that, don't they? Obviously, when they're actually profiling, there are actually some people that want to get caught.
Yeah, because they want that notoriety.
They want to be notified as I am this. Like in this case, I am the BTK killer. Like that I did that.
Yeah. There's like certain people as well that like make sure that they kill past this like either 3 or 5 to then become a serial killer. Yeah. As well, you know, they want to be known that like that's me. I did it. You know, and if they're not getting enough, you know, media coverage or any media coverage, that's then when they start writing to the police or writing to the newspapers and stuff, you know, and that's when maybe they should go see a doctor, you know.
No, definitely.
So,
go and get some help.
Yeah, it's not.
Although, is there any help for that? If that is what you want to do, that is it, innit?
Well, yeah, you see,
do you know what I mean?
Do you know, it's funny you should bring this up. So you see, I've always had this thought that when you get people that murder someone and they'll go and like the insanity plea, that wasn't of the right mind. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously they get like lesser time or they go to like the asylum. It's not an asylum now, but you know what I'm saying, yeah?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, yeah.
So I've always had this thought, and let me know what you think as well, that don't you think the at least majority of people must be a little bit insane to murder someone? And I'm talking about the kind of like cold, brutal killing murders. I'm not talking about some things where it could be like in
revenge.
Sort of thing. So like if I don't want to give an example, but you know.
Yeah, I mean,
not like I don't mean all like a justified killing. You know, we've all heard of like people that.
But then you could literally go as far as saying like, you know, you could must be a little bit insane even if you was to just hit somebody. Do you see what I mean? And maybe that's right. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, it's different. I think when you're put in a situation that you need to do something, you do it, don't you? Yeah. You know, fight or flight and all that, you know. But
yeah, but that's what I mean when I'm talking about the kind of killers of where like they've, you know, broke into someone's house to murder them, or it's a crime of opportunity. They saw some girl walking down a dark alley and I'll take my opportunity and I'll murder you. Like,
yeah,
I've always kind of seen it as like, aren't they all just a little bit like not all the clogs are working?
Yeah, I see what you mean, really.
Because,
but then I suppose that the insanity plea surely is down beyond a certain point that you're so insane that actually it would be dangerous to put you into a prison and more problematic to put you into a prison. So we were actually going to put you into this mental health hospital instead.
Well, I mean, obviously it goes on like different things of like the insanity plea of saying that like you didn't know right from wrong, you know, or like you wasn't in the right frame of mind, you know, as you was doing these things. But this is what I'm saying, is like, would me or you break into somebody's house and murder them? No, we wouldn't just...
You wouldn't just go and do that. No, I mean...
No. So, like, part of me always thinks, isn't everyone just a little bit insane who does those kind of things? Those kind of just unnecessary killings.
The thing is, I think that level of stuff... Yeah, I think you're 100% right. There's got to be some sort of level of mental torment involved to do that to somebody else. You know, whether that be... I mean, obviously, we look at, like, a lot of serial killers. A lot of it's, like, childhood related. And yeah. So I mean, I suppose you're probably right in some sense, definitely. You know, because you have people that out there that murder for the sake of revenge. You know, you might have hurt somebody in their family or something like that. Yeah. That person's now no more, maybe, and then it's like, right, well, I did that for revenge, and whether that's right or wrong, I don't think that's really for us to.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some cases where I've seen of where like a parent has had revenge, and I can't say I've sat there at times and thought, oh, that's terrible.
It's like when the lady went for Jeffrey Dahmer in the courtroom.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. I totally understand that. That's an emotional reaction. I think if someone close to you gets hurt, you know, by somebody, you know, your natural instincts, I suppose, kick in of wanting to protect that person, but also, you know, there's a little bit like, you ain't going to get this over on me.
Yeah,
you know?
Like I've always been the one that, you know, when you see people having to go through these court trials and you've got the parent sitting in, you know, like the stands or whatever, and you know, the accused is sitting there. I'm always like, I don't know how as a parent you are just sitting there when you see them odd cases. Like,
I'd get arrested way before it got to a court case.
That's what
the moment the arrest is made, or no, maybe not the arrest. You can't go on, you know, the original, you know, assumption. But the moment, like, right, yeah, we're charging this person.
Yeah,
something's happening.
That's what I'm saying, you know. So like,
I don't know how, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so yeah, with like the lady of Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, how she sort of went to go lunge at him and stuff. I don't know how things like that don't happen more often when you are a parent, because
I had so much respect for her for doing that, though. I swear.
Yeah.
Like, because you, like you say, you just don't see that. You don't ever see, and I get it. I suppose technically my way of thinking, and our way of thinking, isn't necessarily, I suppose, right.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, an eye for an eye, and the whole world goes blind, and all of that sort of stuff. You know.
I don't mind if it's my children.
Yeah. See, I get it. I understand where you're coming from completely. I am on the same page as you, and I'm sure there's many other people that are. But I suppose there are also a lot of people that wouldn't feel the same way about it.
No, I understand. I do. I do. But yeah, it's just a thought I've always had that isn't, you know, everyone that sort of cold-blooded murders and things, and especially when you go to the likes of someone like BTK, sort of thing. Like, don't tell me he's not
disturbed in some way or another. He has to be, doesn't he?
That's what I mean. You know, he went, you know, obviously BTK, bind, torture, kill. Like, he was one of them that went the whole hog. Like,
oh yeah, he went all the way.
That's what I mean. Not all his dogs are barking.
No,
you can't be at that point.
No. And the thing is, I mean, to do that and get some kind of kick out of it, like you say, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
And to the point that you're going to go, I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, and that's not me saying that these people deserve any sort of like lighter sentence because of it, like as in like what they normally get because of it. That's just me saying that, like, I don't think they're quite right, and they probably should have some medication or something.
Yeah.
You know,
and maybe never be released.
And that,
because I think, you know, once you've gone to that point,
yeah,
you know, you're not going to get that release from anything else ever again, are you? You know.
Well, no, I mean, like, the serial killers that have happily talked with people and stuff like that, you know, have sort of described it, obviously, as, you know, like a drug addiction, that, you know, that first kill is, you know, good, and then it's kind of forever chasing that, which is why most of them will normally progress. You know, it can start off with kind of like assault, and then, or home invasion, and then from there they go up and up and up to sort of like the worst. Like, yeah. You know, it's kind of like chasing that hit, that high for them. So,
seems crazy to talk about a high when you're talking about a subject like this, doesn't it? I mean, how can you feel? I don't know. It's such a hard thing to understand.
Yeah.
And you know, at the same time, it's hard for some people. I get it, because obviously, you know, you look at a lot, especially serial killers. They were abused as kids and stuff like that. Majority of them. Yeah, you'd probably go as far as say like 99% of them were, which leads them all to these decisions they make.
Yeah.
Not making it right, because it doesn't make it right by any means, but there is some part of me that goes out to them a bit like, that's rough. That's really rough.
Well, it comes down to the old saying of, you know, nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? You know, was you born this way, or was you conditioned this way, sort of thing, you know? And I can't help but think with a lot of them, with the childhood that they had, you know, it's like, had you been loved and not beaten and not had alcoholic or drug addict parents and things, would your life had gone a different way? Yeah. You know, and definitely. You know, I do think about things like that as well, and it's a shame.
No, it is. It is, because I mean, ultimately, if the initial act didn't happen of the abuse, then the following acts don't happen, do they?
Yeah.
That's you know.
It's a chain reaction going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
No, definitely. You
know, which then, in a sense, brings us full circle to then when people say, like, why don't we have serial killers in today's day and age? Like how we, you know, you think about like 70s, 80s, even some of the 90s.
Do you think that we do though, and maybe it just isn't told to us?
I think it's a bit of both. I think that there are. I mean, I think it was only reported like a few months ago somewhere there was like a serial killer
Yeah.
But we don't have serial killers like in the good old days.
Like in the good old days.
No, but we don't. And I mean, let's face it, a big part of that why we don't is because of the advanced technology that we have now.
But this is my point. That's a good story to spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's believable, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the amount of technology we have nowadays. You can't get away with it.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just do. How many just independent crimes go unsolved? How many burglaries go unsolved? If the technology was that good, wouldn't we catch them as well? Like, I'm just saying. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that goes unsolved. Why is it that we no longer have serial killers?
Maybe it's sometimes a little bit like forget about the little fish to catch the big fish. Sometimes.
Maybe. I'm self-confessed conspiracy theorist over it. Okay, just so you know. I just wonder if they do exist, but we just don't get told. They want to create that panic, you know?
Yeah.
And stuff. So it's one of those, right, it's best not say nothing, because, I mean, if we say something, you know, like there's someone going around, you know, murdering men with beards, we don't want to frighten the men with beards and stop them from going out and whatever. We'll create panic across the men with beards, you know?
Yeah.
No,
but I mean, that's totally true. I mean, we're drip fed information from the media and by what they want us to know. You know, I mean, even if you think about
that's a conspiracy theory.
No, but it is. But even if you think about like obviously the Nicola Bulley case.
Yeah.
Yeah. People go missing in the UK all the time. There have been people...
Yeah, we said this before, didn't we? That people go missing all the time. Why is there so much media spread on this case?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There have been people that have gone missing probably like the day before her and the day after her. But why is her case...
Probably the same day as her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But her case blew up in the media because they chose it to. They wanted it to. Probably as some distraction.
And there is also that.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, there were some suspicious surroundings around it.
Yeah.
You know, with the dog and stuff. Like, there was a bit, it was all a bit, nothing quite was right, you know.
Oh, it's all a bit dodgy, isn't it?
It was all a bit iffy, shall we say. I mean, and the phone. The phone being left on the bench, that one does me. I can't get around the fact that the phone was placed. Weren't chucked, it weren't fallen. I'm going to put my phone down there, nice and straight, parallel with the table.
Yeah.
Brilliant. See you later. But, you know.
But yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, you know, yeah, of course there are still serial killers and things, but, you know, the media will be like, we're going to tell you this, and we're going to tell you this. And
I mean, I think it must be really bad for the economy. If there's a serial killer on the loose, like, you know, all of a sudden people are going, I ain't going out on that Friday night because I'd normally walk home from the pub or the club, wherever it is you're going, on my own. Just
like what Rona did.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know,
we saw how that like destroyed businesses and stuff like that. So maybe we're not told this.
You still see people wearing masks now.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, it is dying out now, slowly but surely. Not that, I mean, it bothers
Bad
anyone.
Choice of words there, Phil.
What did I say?
Dying out.
Yeah, that was a really bad choice of words. Yeah, that was. But yeah, no, people. You know, you're seeing less and less of them now. But yeah, you're still seeing people, you know, with masks on. And I remember sort of during the time of COVID as well, and how everyone was like wearing masks, you know, or the majority, I should say.
Yeah.
And you know, even when like it was originally lifted, you didn't have to wear a mask anymore. There were still so many people that did.
I did.
Admittingly, I did. Well, I did sometimes, depending on where I was going and how sort of like close I was going to be with other people. But I think it was by that point I was back to work. I was working alongside people on a daily. It was kind of a bit like, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. As much as that's probably a bit of a stupid mentality to take, I don't know, because at the end of the day, I see everyone's arguing points of do, don'ts, and everything else like that. I think a lot of us just didn't know if we was doing right from wrong during that time, to be honest.
I think for me it's because, I mean, at the time Quentin was like coming up for, well, he was sort of just over like, I don't know, I think he was about 7 months old.
Yeah.
So me and Q was just like going to the shops,
It would have been about 7 months when it first came into play, wasn't it? He was born in the June. And it was around February time we went into lockdown. The first original lockdown. So he'd have been like 7 months old.
Yeah.
That had to be 8 months old.
Yeah. So, like, we were just going into shops and things like that, like, during all of that time. So, for me, it was like, because I was in a really crowded place of strangers.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It felt weird to go in there without.
And I don't know about you, I felt really bad for not putting a mask on him as much as we couldn't put a mask on him.
But yeah.
But you feel like, well, if I'm protecting myself, why am I not protecting him?
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense. It's like, if I go to the shop with London, London's gonna put a mask on. Yeah. I'm protecting them. But you know, my 2-year-old here, well, not even he's two now. He's not even 2. You know, he's 8-month-old baby. I'm not gonna put a mask on. It just seemed like really weird. Yeah. But anyway, that's enough about COVID. I think that sort of took over enough of our life as it is. Don't you?
Yeah, we don't need no more of that.
No. Which brings us on to the part of the podcast that I've been looking forward to the most. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Me and Bone are going to discuss Tarantino characters. And between us, we've got to see if we can come up with what we think is the greatest character and agree on this. Now, I don't think it's possible.
No.
But I want to get your thoughts. When I sit there and go, who is the greatest Tarantino character? What initially pops into your head?
Django.
I knew you was going to say that. I knew you was going to say that. And I don't necessarily disagree that strongly either. His character was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I was so glad it was in the end was actually played by Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
And not Will Smith.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel like Will Smith would have played it well.
Yeah.
But he would have played it differently. And I think Jamie Foxx smashed it out of the park when he played it. I don't know.
I agree.
But my counter argument is...
Okay.
It's the same movie.
Okay.
Dr. King Schultz.
Nah, I knew you was going to say that.
His character is amazing.
He is so charming.
So suave.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, he is.
He's an absolute... And I love how against, in everything that's going on in that film, he's against all of it.
You must never break character.
You must never break
And he
character.
didn't.
No, he didn't. He literally didn't the whole time. His character was just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then the question is, you start digging deeper into other characters, and there's just so many iconic characters. And then I sit there and I think down to even silly little things, right? Like, for example, Stuntman Mike in Death Proof.
Yeah.
Now, it was such a simple character.
But he played him so well.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be Stuntman Mike. Like, I want to get in his car.
Do you actually want to get in his car?
Yeah, I mean, what a way to go.
It's kind of death proof. But you really need to be sitting in my seat.
Yeah. And talking of death proof, I feel like there's definitely a Tarantino film that not a lot of people have seen.
No.
And
definitely not.
I don't understand why. The film is amazing.
It's a really awesome film, and what I like about it the most is you really don't need a lot of concentration on it either. It's such an easy watching film that you can just put it on and relax and
considering
chill.
It is a Tarantino movie, whereas normally you kind of need your wits about you.
You look at like Pulp Fiction, for example, and you're constantly the whole way going, where's this going? What's going on?
Or Jackie Brown.
Same thing there.
Reservoir Dogs,
maybe even again. You think, where's this going? What's going on?
Yeah.
This, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. Where with Death Proof, there's none of that going on.
No.
And then you think to like Hateful Eight, and you think to Django Unchained, and you're a bit like, they're really intense stories.
Yeah.
As much as, again, I find them fairly easy watching, they're a really intense story. Where, again, Death Proof just isn't. It's almost like it's so mundane, but it's really good because of that.
Yeah, see, now you just mentioned Hateful Eight, right?
I knew that was going to trigger something. I knew it was going to trigger something.
And then straight away, I think of John Roof.
John Roof, the hangman.
Like, again, what Tarantino does with his characters and who he picks to play them, like this This is why our son is called Quentin. Okay,
It literally is.
the man is just phenomenal. He's like, he's not human. The way he is able to pick the right actor or actress and how he writes them parts for them and gets them to play it. Like, because obviously, Kurt Russell, who plays Stuntman Mike, then plays John Roof, the hangman. Two very obviously different characters. Yep. And he is amazing in both roles. You know, like, I don't particularly find him attractive, but as both them characters, I'm like, yes.
Yes.
You know? Like, and it's not even because, like, it's not like his appearance in it. I mean, look at him as John Roof. You know, he's
a silver fox.
Oh, yeah.
Silver fox. But all day long, he is a silver fox.
But it's that suaveness you was talking about, you know?
It's the cleverness of the way it's played, isn't it? I know what you mean. See, John Roof, the hangman, is definitely. But then you got...
But I was just going to say...
I
was just going to say, there's absolutely one person throughout Tarantino movies that we cannot overlook.
I know who you're on about.
And it's Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically in, like, every movie nearly, isn't he, now?
So he's
not in Reservoir Dogs.
No, he's in Pulp Fiction.
He's in Jackie Brown.
He's in Jackie Brown.
He's in Kill Bill.
Yeah, no, he's in Kill Bill 2.
It's all one movie. It's different volumes. So Kill Bill.
Volume
he's in Kill
2.
Bill.
Okay. Sorry.
We're getting technical here, darling. All right, we're getting technical
he's
here.
In Django.
Django, yeah.
He's in Hateful Eight.
Yeah. He's not in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is he?
He's not. No, he's not in Inglourious Bastards.
No, he's not in that either.
He's not in that. We're missing one out. There's 9 films.
True Romance? No, because that wasn't actually one of his, was it?
It wasn't one of his.
So hang on, we've got Reservoir
Dogs, Pulp Fiction,
Jackie Brown,
Death Proof,
Kill Bill.
Oh, 1, 2.
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
See, it's one film.
Yeah. See, and obviously him as Jules in Pulp Fiction.
In Pulp Fiction, yep. No, 100%.
Iconic. Absolutely.
And then you got Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction as well as Mia Wallace. I mean, iconic. Unforgettable.
Yeah.
I mean, you've only got to look how many people have a tattooed on them.
So do you. You have her.
Yes, I do. I do.
And you have Django tattooed on you.
I do have Django.
You do.
Now that's a good argument point. Of all the people I got decided, they're the two I've got tattooed on me so far. I mean, I probably will have more at some point.
Yeah.
But I have got them two tattooed on me.
But you see, in discussing all of this as well, another character that always pops out to me, and I think most people are probably going to know because of how much he's memed as well, is Calvin Candy.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained.
And his acting in that was, I mean, let's be real, Leonardo DiCaprio, anything he acts in, he is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I mean...
I love Titanic.
I can't watch Titanic. Oh.
Although I never found, as a youngster, I never found him attractive like all my friends did.
You like him now with the dad bod, don't you?
Yes, right up my street.
That's right up your street, baby.
Yes, a bit of me that is. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. He's not overly attractive to like look like, he's alright, but he's better now. He's piled on some timber.
What I'll do want to discuss quickly.
Go on.
And it's still on subject to a degree. We've not mentioned one character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Right.
Yeah.
But there is a character that really stands out for me, and I love his character.
Hey.
Cliff Booth.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
Yes.
He is fantastic in it. And
his character for me is the favourite one in it.
Yeah, he's my favourite.
He is literally like, and it feels a shame that he's going to be like a side note in when we're talking about like greatest Tarantino characters, because I thought his character was phenomenal, and I definitely want to see Brad Pitt in more Tarantino movies because he played that role. You could just see, I don't know, it just was a really, really good fit.
Yeah. And the last 20 minutes of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
were just
the best.
I loved that film though.
Yeah. I
do love that film. I know you, when we first watched it, was a little bit like undecided, wouldn't you? On it, you was a bit like, isn't it that good? I don't know. I fell in love with the story of the time he was trying to tell. straight away. But I'm very much like that anyway. You know, I love looking at the like older times and looking at what people were doing in like, you know, the 70s and the 60s, and I just think it's really cool and how things change and also how things then come back. But so yeah, I thought that was really good.
I did explain it though, that like at the time I was going through really bad sort of panic attacks, wasn't I? And throughout the whole time sitting in the cinema, I was trying to control a panic attack, and obviously that film is like nearly 3 hours long or something.
So this is a long film.
It's a long film, so I think for me the first time I watched it, I wasn't concentrating a lot because I was just trying to not have a panic attack for 3 hours. But then once I watched it again, like at home, I definitely enjoyed it much better.
Yeah.
And I do love the movie. It is good. But yeah, Cliff Booth, he is good in it.
Yeah.
And Leonardo DiCaprio is great in it as well. The bit where he's in his trailer. Like,
that's right.
He is great.
I totally get that level of frustration as well.
Yeah.
I definitely get it.
And I love what Tarantino did with that movie, how he rewrote history, obviously because it's about Sharon Tate, Charles Manson and the murders, and how he rewrote history and how it had Sharon Tate had a new ending instead of the way that the murders actually went. I really appreciate what he did there. That was lovely.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think if you'd have ended it in how it ended, I think it would have probably been a really bad film. Yeah, I agree with that. That ending just made it light of the situation. Yeah, definitely.
But getting back to your original thing about greatest Tarantino. I think
the greatest. Come on, who's the GOAT?
I say Django because, you know, he's the underdog. Yeah. He's got...
Everyone loves an underdog story.
Yeah, but he's got everything against him. You know, he shouldn't win. He shouldn't be getting his girl. And, you know, the times that he's in slavery and all that. Yeah. You know, and it's his whole journey along the way that, you know, he gets free. He gets to kill the people that, you know, hurt him and his Broomhilda. And he rescues her, and he does it in such a cool way, and takes them out, and he gets the girl, and you know, and he got, you know, I mean, Django is just a love story.
Yeah,
Django's just a love story.
It literally is.
That's all it is. About the man getting his girl, but just all the odds were against him, you know, and he did it, and he done it with such class and. I'm a fan.
Yeah. And obviously Hateful Eight only came about initially, wasn't it? Because he was trying to write Django, or he was writing Django too. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think he got some more character ideas and was like, no, this can't be a Django 2. This needs to be its own movie. Yeah. And that's then effectively where it all then changed.
Yeah. For me, obviously, you know, Django is my comfort film.
Yeah.
But Hateful Eight is... as well. I think where just the whole premise of the movie obviously takes place more or less in just one location.
Yeah.
I find it an easy watch.
Yeah.
You know, there's like not a whole lot going on, but there is, because obviously there's twists and turns.
Oh, yeah.
In that movie.
And the whole film is based on suspicion, isn't it? Really. Yeah.
And Hateful Eight is so funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh my God, is it so funny.
Major Marquis.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes maybe people don't understand how funny Tarantino films are, because there's a certain level of like comedy to them. Sometimes it can just be a bit plain and simple, but other times it's not like it takes a level of intelligence, but it's like it's just a bit quick-witted humour.
Yeah.
Some little sort of things thrown in there. Like you say, like how he says that. Marquis, you know.
Major Marquis.
Like he says
I love that bit.
Yeah, like how he says that. And it's...
Billy Crash.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like go yeehaw somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like them little things. It's just a little thing, but it builds that character that says it to that character. And he builds that sort of humour as he goes with everyone. Yeah. So you feel the tension between the two characters. So it's funny because he's trying to insult him, he's trying to insult him back with just these little ones, and you feel that tension, and it's just funny, you know?
No, definitely.
We make today no hat day. See?
I love Senior Bob. Yeah. Senior Bob is the best. He won't be beaten.
You should get him tattooed on you.
That's an idea.
No, I told you before to get tattooed on you, didn't I? Make tomorrow no hat day.
Yeah, that's right.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
I'll get that tattooed on me after my surgery. Oh, dear.
So, who's your favourite, Phil?
I'm stuck. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think it has to be Django. It has to be.
Yeah.
But it's such a close call for me. Django, and then you've got Dr. King Schultz.
Yeah.
It's definitely chasing up behind there.
Yeah.
He
is a silver fox.
John Ruth, the Hangman.
Yeah.
Another one definitely is up there. Major Marquis.
And Cliff Booth.
No, because
no.
This is what I mean. I don't think he's going to be in there. I don't think Cliff Booth, even though his character was amazing.
But yeah.
I feel like he hasn't made that cut, and I kind of feel like that's a shame. But
I get that.
I don't think he has actually made that cut.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I think I'm going to have to go with. Django has to be the greatest.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's the character Tarantino put like a lot of his heart into.
Yeah.
He loves like them sort of old school spaghetti westerns and
does.
stuff like that. So I feel like that's for him. I think he's put most of his, I don't know, passion into that character.
Yeah.
I think and obviously again saying like we've got two from one movie effectively that we're really sort of toying between. I think that says a lot, doesn't it, about the guy's passion when he wrote it.
Yeah, because I'd say Django. I'd have to say Dr. King Schultz, but I have to give a notable mention to Calvin Candy.
Yeah.
I just do.
Yeah, again, exactly. I mean, he would get in there above Cliff Booth.
Yeah.
That just seems like how we just keep knocking Cliff Booth down.
Especially as we know.
Poor Brad Pitt.
I know.
Get Brad Pitt in more. I mean, although Brad Pitt is in Inglourious Basterds as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, when you think about how Leonardo DiCaprio, like in that role, like smashed his palm open, and that scene, he
just carried on.
He just carried on acting.
Yeah. So if you didn't know that, when he actually smashes his hand down on the table,
when he goes and
the glass smashes.
It actually
that is genuine. That wasn't actually meant to happen.
No, and it wasn't a prop. It was real glass, and he goes like that and smashes his hand down, and he just carried on with the scene. So when you see him sort of going like this, picking the glass out in the blood,
that's genuine. And
then he goes on to smear his hand over Broomhilda's face. That's his actual blood doing it. Like that's his real blood. He just carried on with the scene, and I can only imagine how much that must have hurt, because I keep thinking about like my palm tattoo.
And then taking the glass out as well, like that's gotta be rough.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll end that there.
Yeah.
We've come up with Django is the GOAT of Tarantino characters.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be a new film soon, so we might be able to add someone else into that. You know.
He said 10 films, so there's one more to come.
This feels like a shame.
Yeah.
To be honest. But yeah. So that's that.
That is going to be it from us today, guys. Thanks for joining us on our first podcast. Please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. I've had fun. Have you had fun?
I've had a lot of fun.
Yes, babe. You will see us again very soon. So from us at Phoney Podcast, bye.
Bye.